Hi everyone, so I wanted to do another product inventory video. I did one a few months ago with foundation and I will do an updated one probably really soon. It's on my list of videos to do, but in this one I wanted to talk about face primers. I've referenced face primers a lot in my recent videos. I talked about how many mattifying ones I had left, or so I thought. So I've had a lot of face primers over the last couple of years, from full sizes to travel sizes to sample sizes, drugstore, high-end, everything. Had a lot. Primers were one of those categories that I just really had a ton of product, like just a huge excess amount of product. And I just kept working away on things. I did declutter a handful of things that just were not working for me at all. And I wasn't tracking anything. I didn't have them in project pans. I was just naturally using my primers. Reasons why I had so many were because of my spending, because I was buying things to compensate for other things, and that wasn't good. But primers are one of those like safety zones where I could at least focus on my base, primer, foundation, try and cover my face and make it look good. And that was one of those categories that I focused on. And also trying to compete within the panning community with fellow panners and with people who were sort of watching but not actively participating, who would kind of encourage me to have more things to pan. And primers were a really easy category for me to just accumulate a ton of and then just never really use them. So I've used a ton over the last year, way more than I expected to have used. So I did an inventory because I finished 2 primers around the same time. So I was like, well, I really need to see what I have here. So I have 4 primers. This is a big deal. So these 3 are almost entirely finished, and this is a brand new bottle of primer oil. So I will go through the ones I have left, briefly talk about them, and if I plan on repurchasing them. This is a travel size of the Becca Evermatte Poreless Priming Perfector. I've had a few of these in sample sizes and travel sizes. I don't remember if I ever had the full size. It's quite possible. Back when my skin was more combination oily, I really liked this primer, especially T-zone area, because it just really mattifies everything. Right now my skin has been super dry and I'm working a lot to combat that, so mattifying primers, not great for me. If I ever felt like I needed a mattifying primer again, I definitely would go for this one because it has worked so well for me. I did actually use it on my face today, but layered a lot of other things on top of it, a lot of glowy things, even this primer oil, I'll mention that. But I don't plan on repurchasing this, so I want to finish up the little bit that's left, say goodbye, and have a good little primer stash of things that I will consistently use for the way that my skin is now. And I don't mean excessively, but I'm definitely missing a standard hydrating primer. I'm definitely missing my luminous primer. I think there's really 2 primers that I would need to add into what I already have and finishing off other ones. So this one would be one I would finish, and the Rimmel Lasting Finish Skin Perfecting primer. So this is okay. It's very thick and lotiony. I did use it in my last video, which was my sort of current foundation routine with some skincare stuff and me just shopping my stash with different items. And this is more lotiony, so you can see me actually putting this one on my face. I used a tiny bit of this today underneath my eye area because I didn't want the Becca one underneath my eye. It's okay. It's just not great. I don't really like the heavy lotiony face primers. I just feel like they are too heavy for my skin, and while I haven't had an issue with the Rimmel one, it's just not one that I would consider repurchasing because I don't feel like it made a huge difference in my skin. It was just something that was okay. And I have about this much left, so this much, not a lot of product left in there. I also have the Laura Mercier Blemishless foundation primer. This is my second tube of this. I bought it after trying a sample and really loved it. This one probably has about 2 uses left of it. I really like this primer. I felt like it does help with breakout, so this is the one thing that I would repurchase and would have on hand. When it's that time of the month, or I feel like a breakout is going to come, or I am dealing with a couple of breakouts, this is the primer I like to use because I really feel like it creates that nice base. It does have ingredients in there that help with the acne fighting, and it just, maybe it's just peace of mind, but I do feel like my skin reacts better to this. I do feel like foundation goes on top of it really nicely, or even if I'm just using concealer, if I'm just spot concealing, this even on its own for those no makeup days or like light makeup days is really nice as well, especially if dealing with those issues, or like I'm expecting to deal with those issues, but I still kind of have to go out and do stuff where it's like, okay, let's put a little bit of this on my face. If you're putting on like mascara, brow stuff, maybe a little touch of concealer and go. And this is definitely one that I want to have. The newest addition to my primer family is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Oil. So I just bought this during the Sephora sale. I mentioned that in that video. I've used it a few times since I received it. It's as good as I remember it being, so I'm really glad that I did purchase this because I had used 2 sort of deluxe size samples of this before. I put a little bit of this on top of my face today, especially in this area. I just watched a new video from Jaclyn Hill. I know. She has great tips though, and she talked about using the primer oil with a beauty blender or like some sort of sponge and pressing it onto those dry spots on your face, because she's also dealing with dry skin and it works so well. I did see other people in her comment section mention using other face oils as well, so maybe if you have really dry skin like I've been dealing with, maybe worth a shot. That's how I've started to use that since I watched that video, but I did purchase this before that with the intention of using it on its own, and I have used it once on its own and it didn't have any issues, any skin flare-ups, so I think it's a good to go, but also a good thing to mix with these 2 that are remaining. So 4 primers with very little left of 3 and 1 brand new one. It feels a little weird because I've always had so many things, and I definitely feel, like I said, that things are lacking. I'm not a one primer gal. I like different things, but I'm not entirely sure what I want except for the Becca First Light priming filter. That's the purple one. I've repurchased that a couple times. I definitely need that in my life again because it just makes my skin so glowy. But where I've been mixing oils and like liquid highlighters and stuff with foundation to use the mattifying foundations as well as the mattifying primers, I haven't needed to rush out and purchase that one. So it's on my list. It will be something I will purchase when I need to. I just know if I buy that now, I will want to start using it. And then once again, these things will take a back seat, and I'm so close to finishing them. So it'll be the Becca, it'll be a repurchase of the Laura Mercier, and then I do need a hydrating one. I'm tempted to try something from the drugstore for a hydrating primer if you guys have any recommendations, just so I can try a less expensive option, because I was looking at Makeup Forever and I think Natasha Denona has one as well. So either one of those would be something that I'd like to use. The Makeup Forever would be a repurchase because I've used that many times. The Natasha Denona would be something new. So it's a gamble anytime you try something new, and I don't want to get into that buy something new, not like it, and then want to buy something else. But that's the price you have to pay sometime if you can't get a sample, if you can't try things. You just kind of have to go with your gut, trust the reviews, hope that it's going to work, and sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't, but my plan will be to be very careful, very cautious going forward. So I feel like going forward, having 4 face primers is really realistic for me. It's a really good number. I don't see myself needing anything in another category. If I do feel like at some point I need the mattifying primer, this would round out for a 5th. I feel like that would be a really good number. I feel like I would have enough different products that I would be able to accomplish what I want to accomplish with my base makeup without having to sacrifice anything, which is definitely something that I sort of feel like I have to do right now, is sacrifice. It's so dramatic, but it's because I'm just making things work, and it's not the great products on their own. That's what I really want, is products that I can use on their own and not have to worry about mixing it with other things to make it work. I just want that kind of one and done, face primer, one done. Like I don't generally like smoothing primers. I don't like the pore filling ones necessarily. I haven't really used any great ones. I did use the Touch and Soul No Pore Bloom one, which was nice. But like the Benefit one and I think the Dr. Brandt one was like stuff that's like okay. okay, but not great, and not something that I feel like I really need for the way that I do makeup currently. That might change, but right now, that's where it stands. I wanted to share this with you guys because I'm kind of surprised, but kind of excited that I'm really, really close to having my foundation primers exactly where I want it to be. And that has been one of the goals, like obviously with every category, not purchasing new makeup, trying to use up as much as I can, having just what I want and nothing extra is so nice. And I'm so close to that. So I wanted to share where I was right now and give you guys an update on the products I have. A lot of people have asked for other inventories for other products. They probably won't be happening right now. You will see another project coming up really soon, which will explain sort of why. I will do an eyeshadow palette inventory and the foundation inventory, and that will probably be it in terms of inventory. If you do have any other things you would like to hear more about, please let me know. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please also leave those for me down below as well. I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. If you have any no-buy, low-buy related videos or topics you would like me to discuss, please also leave those for me as well. I love hearing from you. Thank you so, so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day or night wherever you are, and I hope we get a chance to chat soon. Bye for now.